First things first, we'll need to install 7-zip. Visit the 7-zip website and download the 64-bit executable. We will need 7-zip to install our mods. Open your Downloads folder and double-click the 7-zip executable to begin installation. Choose your location and click Install.
Good work.
Now onto our mod manager. The two main mod managers are Vortex and Mod Organizer 2. I have a video on my channel which will go into further detail explaining the differences between the two. I will leave a link in the description, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to use Mod Organizer 2. Visit the Files tab of Mod Organizer 2 on Nexus Mods. Select Manual Download. Close your browser and open your Modding Hub folder. Right-click, select New and Folder. Title this MO2. You will see why in a second. Now open your Downloads folder in another window. Double-click on the Mod Organizer 2 Setup executable to begin installation. Read and accept the user agreement and click Next. For your location of your install, click the Browse button and navigate to the MO2 folder we just created in your Modding Hub folder. Then click Next. Click Next again, and one more time. Now select the box that says Create a Desktop Shortcut. And click Next. Select Install. Click Finish and Mod Organizer 2 will launch. When setting up an instance, select your Steam as the option. Here you will notice that since Nexus Mods has changed its categories, MO2 will need to be updated with this information. You can turn off the mappings altogether, but I suggest clicking the box that says Open Categories. If you have already seen this before, there's a chance this won't display for you this time round. Now you can manually select them from the right-hand list and place them under the category you wish to be named so. But this is time consuming, and if you would prefer, you can import Nexus cats from the bottom of the window.
Here you go.
This will take the existing Nexus categories and place them in for you. Click OK, and it will automatically fill the gaps. Now click OK to close this window. You will be prompted Mod Organizer is not set up to handle NXM links. You do wish to associate it, so click Yes. If this window doesn't pop up, you can visit your Settings tab in the toolbar at the top, select the Nexus tab, and you can connect it to your Nexus account from here. By doing so, it can retrieve the information for the mod from the Nexus page, along with allowing you to download directly into MO2 from Nexus Mods. Now you will notice, if you have the Anniversary Edition DLC, it comes with a bunch of CC files. These are Creation Club content files. All the additional Creation Club content that is within the Anniversary Edition DLC will list here. Now if you wish to create another instance, you can do so by visiting the File Settings tab. Then Create Instance. When selecting a type of instance, click Global Instance. Then select Skyrim Special Edition and Steam. Here you will be able to name it whatever you wish. Using specific save game files and ini files will allow you to keep your mod setups separate from each other, each with their own saved games. I suggest doing so if you plan on making drastic changes between instances. Now normally, this would be saved in the app data folder, something we had to go and sort out right at the beginning when creating a clean installation. To make this easier on ourselves, let's change that to a different location. With inside our Mod Hub folder, we can create a folder called MO2 Instances. With the data saved within this folder, again, all of the information is in one location. Making it much easier should you wish to remove anything. Select the folder and click Next. When you click OK, Mod Organizer 2 will relaunch. Already we have far too many files in the left window, making navigation confusing, and we've only just begun.
It's not that bad.
Now this Creation Club content will only apply to those with the Anniversary Edition DLC, but let's tidy that up a little bit so we have a better overview of our mods.
I'm listening.
Open a browser and navigate to Nexus Mods. Ensure you're under Skyrim Special Edition. Search Content Picker and select Anniversary Edition Content Picker by Dark Fox 127. Visit the Files tab. Select Manual Download. Anniversary Edition Content Picker does not come with the content itself. It merely provides the structure. You will need to ensure that you have the Anniversary Edition content in order to be able to use this mod. With the file downloaded, you can visit your download section. Now, thanks to earlier, we have installed 7-zip, which will allow us to unzip this file. Right-click, select 7-zip and extract to. Open the newly extracted folder. You will see 3 folders within it. The CC content is the one we need to open. Now this is empty, and this is where we're going to put all of that data, the CC content, from our Skyrim game. Open your Mod Hub folder, and thanks to our link, click the game directory, and straight away we found it. Open the Data folder. Here you will see a list of ESLs and BSA files. This is the CC content we need to move. I suggest sorting these by type, as there are some files that will need to be left in the folder. Once you have sorted by type, select all BSA files beginning with CC. That should be 74 in total. Drag and drop into our CC content folder. Now do the same for the ESL files. There should be another 74. Drag and drop these into the CC content folder as well. There should be 148 items within this folder now. And in our game directory, you will notice a list of files we will leave in place. There are 3 additional files. Since the latest update, they have installed a new mod system for which you can use in-game. These additional files are related to that. Now we can go out of our CC content folder, select the 3 folders, right-click, select 7-zip, and add to archive. This will parcel them up in a 7-zip folder. You can remove the numbers or rename to what you wish, and click OK. Now this will take a while, so whilst it's doing so, grab yourself a brew. It's the perfect time for it. With that complete, you should see a 7-zip file of approximately 2.8 gigabytes with the name you've chosen. We want to ensure that this 7-zip file is kept safe, as this contains all of the Creation Club content. Open up your Modding Hub folder again and drag your new 7-zip file into your folder to keep it safe. Now you want to open Mod Organizer 2. You will notice that the Creation Club content is no longer there. This window is already much easier to look at, and this is because we have moved the Creation Club content into our 7-zip file. Now your Modding Hub folder. Select the 7-zip for Anniversary Edition Content Picker, drag and drop into the download section of Mod Organizer. Now double-click to begin installation. You will be prompted with a pop-up window, which will guide you through the installation. Here you can select whichever content you wish to install and which ones you wish to leave. If you want everything, just select Install Everything. But, like me, Selective Install allows me to remove the few items that I don't wish to be installed. With that done, click Install. Now in the left-hand pane, you will see our installed mod. However, if you look at the plugins section on the right-hand pane, you will notice there are yet to be the new plugins. Check the box to the left of the title of the mod, and those plugins will appear. all of your Creation Club content is titled under the anniversary content in one item. Much more simple when we begin to install our mods. Great job.